guys, it's Paula from PSN Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is the flip through of the Christmas canvas pocket journal that we were working on. So this is another video of my Christmas in July series, and I wanted to do a flip through. So I did finish this off. The final step was just to make the journaling tags and the journaling cards that are on the inside. Everything else I showed in the two previous process videos that I did, which will be in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started. For those that maybe this is the first video that they're catching, these are canvas aprons that I pick up in the tool section at Walmart. So this is what they look like. They have little string ties here. I like to show this in every video because maybe this is the first video you're catching and you're like, what is that base that she is using? Anyhow, that's what this is. So it is 4 pockets, and then we make 2 additional pockets. This one has 2 additional pockets, and it has 2 signatures, and I'll show you. So this one's a little bit different than the ones I've made before, so just keep that in mind. There's a variation of what you can do with these, so I'm sure that there are so many more ways to use these than what I'm doing, and maybe I'll venture out to those as I think through them, but this is what I did with this one. So the tie is a seam binding. Just so that you are aware, I will probably tea dye this or coffee dye it because it is stark white right now. I just didn't get a chance to do it before I wanted to film this video, so I will, excuse me, I will coffee or tea dye this, and then it will like crinkle up so it won't be as stark white. Although I will say that the stark white is a little bit of a nice contrast because this is like a beige color. So again, just the preferences, I guess. I could keep it that way, and if anybody purchases it, or whoever purchases it, can dye it themselves to whatever color they want, because these actually dye very nicely with anything, any color. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I did use 2 images that were part of, I think it was an authentic paper collection that I picked up at like Tuesday morning a few years back. It was a 2020 collection, I believe. So I did use 2 images. So this is the front, and I used this image, so they're vintage inspired. This is vintage ruffle lace that is on the entire length of the journal, so you'll see, or the canvas pocket. I did add a little eyelet right here. That is something different, and I added just a little bell, because what's the holidays without a bell? All right, so let's go through the first tag. So this is the first pocket, and this is the first tag. I used some washi tape, some vintage paper. Of course, I recycled some food containers and 2 stamps here, and then some I'm not sure what this material is, but it's like a sari silk type of material, but I added that as the topper. So sewed all the way around, plenty of journaling space in this pocket journal. So we're going to flip it out. In the first flip out, we have another pocket here. So the interior of this I did line with a vintage lace tablecloth. So before we go here, well, actually, let's go here. So here, I just, again, it's just a pocket. It just cut. So I talk about this in the process video. When I put the tablecloth lace down, I only glue the edges so that I have the ability to make these pockets, because that way it gives you more room to do more journaling, right? Since it's not a traditional size journal. This is great, though, to keep in your purse, keep in your backpack, keep in your diaper bag. It just tucks very nicely and folds very nicely. So this is vintage inspired wrapping paper that we used last Christmas, and I saved whatever I could after we opened our gifts. So I loved this. I just kept it as is. I didn't do anything additional other than cut a piece of it, put it on, again, food container, and then sewed around. I just loved how that looked. So this is a journaling card. We're going to move on to the next pocket here. This is the image that I picked for this one, again, from that paper pack. And this journaling card, as I mentioned really quick, this vintage ruffle lace does go all the way around, so you'll see it in lacing every pocket. So here's another journaling card. And here's a button. I am not 100% sure that's a vintage button, so I'm going to say it's a button. I'm not going to say it's a vintage button. We have a paper doily. We have some stamps of light bulbs and stars, red and green. We have a little image. This is like a little cutout from that paper pack. It's a vintage Sandy making, I think it's muffins, maybe biscuits. I don't know. A little bit of lace right here. It's a tan color lace. And then again, I sewed all the way around vintage book page as the base. So then we're going to flip it open. Okay, so we're going to flip it open. So this is our first signature. The signatures aren't decorated. You can decorate them as you'd like to, but we have vintage music paper. This is, look at this. This is where there was a piece of tape. So these are hymnals I think I got from, there was a, I didn't get them from the church, but it was a church in Pennsylvania that there was like 20 books of hymnals. It was all the same book, right? So, so that's where this book came from. We have some red dyed paper. This I picked up from someone on either YouTube or Etsy many years ago, probably like 5 years ago. This is a page, a recipe from a recipe, Christmas recipe book, The Old Time Sweets. Coffee dyed paper. Here's another page from the music hymnal book. And again, look at just the tape, right? The residue from the old tape. I think it was 1920s, this hymnal book. Oh, hallelujah. This is avocado dyed lined writing paper. Oh, look, cricket. Hopefully we're in frame. Coffee dyed paper. And here's another page from a different Christmas recipe book. And then we have another page of the red, and then we have a filter here. And then I did mean to glue this down, so I probably will do that. These will be glued down just so that, you know, they're glued down. So I will probably do that. And again, so lots of room for you to decorate though, if you wanted to. This is just free space. There is nothing here. So if you wanted to, you can cut that open and add another pocket like I did here. Okay. I'm going to slide this over a little bit. So this is our next pocket that's part of the outside of the apron. And this one here, we just picked a sticker of a stocking with some candy in it. I thought it was simple but cute. And on this journaling card, tag, sorry, I did a little bit of stamping. So it's on Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. And it's just like a, you know, a stamp thing. Magic moments. And then 3 little trees are stamped down here. And then I had a green vintage Monopoly money. So I thought that went well. And then these are 2 stickers that I glued down. So holly and then the candy cane. So we fussy cut the candy cane and this because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. So if you go and see those process videos, you'll see that. And again, it's a recycled food container sewn all the way around. I'm going to flip it open one more time. Okay, so hopefully you can still see everything in the video, ideally, because I'm really bad at the whole when it's so super wide. But again, here's another journaling card, and I did the same thing. I just, with the wrapping paper, the vintage inspired wrapping paper. I just want to be very clear. This is not vintage wrapping paper. This is vintage inspired that we used during Christmas last year. I just love how that looks. I mean, adorable, right? So I just want to show you these two. So they are 2 different. I was able to pick 2 different sections, right? So it's not like a repeat of the exact same image. Okay, and then on this, I'm just going to move this over. Again, another signature. And this is another page from the Christmas recipe book. Christmas Hermit cookies, okay, cinnamon stick, 1886, coffee dyed paper, another page from the music hymnal book. There is some writing in here. I did try to erase some of it. Some of it I didn't. So this is full choir, it says, or chorus, I guess. No, full choir. The red dyed paper, coffee filter, lined avocado paper. Here's another page from the other Christmas recipe book. Oh, look at the ornaments. You can write something in there if you wanted to, huh? Coffee dyed paper, another page with another sticker, not sticker, tape residue, and then in the middle of the signature. So see how I glued this down here. So this is what I was talking about doing on the other one, just so that you know, I did staple the pages together before I sewed them in. I just thought it gave it a little bit more stability, and I'll show you why in a second. So again, and then here, same thing, right? If you wanted to do another pocket, to do another journaling card, or anything else that you wanted to tuck, all you have to do is just cut the lace right here. It's loose. You can cut it. You're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it. We saw this one. I'm going to fold it. Sorry, we saw this one. We saw this tag, right? I'm going to fold it again, and I'm going to flip it over because this is the last tag. So there's a total of 4, and I'll show you in a second what the 4 look like together. And then we have, so on this one, we just did a little sticker. Again, we fussy cut that in one of the process videos just to take the white off of it. I thought it gave it something, but it wasn't like overwhelming, and it didn't keep it blank. If you wanted to stamp down here, you can do some stamping. So that there's that option too. And then here's the last tag. So it's some washi tape, a paper doily, vintage book page. Oh, what fun is stamped with little trees down here that are green. Another tree right here, and then snowflakes. I thought that was perfect. So what I wanted to show from the signatures perspective of where I sewed them in. So I want to show that I only sewed them down here. So the signature goes almost the whole length of the book, right? It goes from here down to about here. Hopefully you can see that. That you can see that. So, but I didn't want to sew up here where the pockets are, because then it kind of restricts a little bit. So that's why I stapled it, because I stapled up here. I made sure I stapled up there, and I made sure I stapled down below. And then the pages are secured with the 3 pamphlet stitch that I did right here, and then right here as well. You probably can't see it, but 3 pamphlet stitch. So that's it. Oh, I did want to show, sorry. So let me, if I unfold the whole thing. Okay, so let me just show you. These are the 4 pockets, right? So when you get the apron, it's actually 2 pockets. It's 2 pockets, but because I sewed signatures in here, it literally will make 4 pockets for you. So you have 1 pocket here, 1 pocket here, 1 pocket here, and 1 pocket here. All right, and then I'm going to flip it over. Okay, here are my pockets, right? You can see them very well. And then I made a pocket here with the journaling card and a pocket here with the journaling card. Now, again, if you wanted to, you can make another pocket right here and another pocket right here. And that would give you ample room for journaling, writing, storing things, if that's how you use it. Plus, you have your 2 signatures that allow you plenty of space as well, for you to decorate yourself however you would like. All right, guys, that is the end of this flip through. If you are interested in this journal, it will be posted in on my website. I will have the link below to that website. And I will also have it probably in an upcoming, if it doesn't sell before, in an upcoming Whatnot show that I have on July 25th. It's a handmade makers Whatnot show. So I am PS Ian Creations on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Whatnot. So just check me out there if you have any questions or want to reach out to me. You can do it that way. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you're enjoying this Christmas in July. I will have a few other videos, but not too many more, and then we will continue to move forward with all our other videos that are not Christmas related yet, right? We will circle back to that later. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.